Here we have Bitcoin. All right, so basically we have been getting rejected from these moving averages, grinding out the top of them or the bottom of them like we've been talking about. We talked about that yesterday, just grinding out the bottom of these ranges or these moving averages. Today will be a pretty short update as we're waiting for confirmation of our next signal. Now, we did get below the POC point of control after being rejected from the 100, falling below all major moving averages. POC on the VPVR, which is the VPVR is a indicator that measures horizontal volume at a certain price level. So we have fallen below there, basically finding support on our last bottom. All right, so if this 100 crosses at 200 to the downside and these moving averages start to fan out, that's when we most likely come back down to the 18,400 mark. Now, your momentum oscillators right now, which is your RSI and your MACD, have fallen below your signal line, entered the bearish control zone, came back up for a retest. This is going to be major resistance because your signal line is here as well. All right, so looks like we're trying to fall below that last low that we just made. If that happens on a closure, we're probably going to go lower. Because the momentum's going to start picking up to the downside. MACD got rejected from the zero line. Like we were talking about yesterday, it was either going to get rejected, finding resistance, or we were going to cross it and probably cross the moving averages to the upside. That did not happen. We have a fresh cross to the downside after a rejection of the zero line. So you have a fresh cross to the signal line to the downside. As your BBWP is expanding, as you see, your BBWP has crossed above your moving averages, and your moving average has a positive slope. So here comes the volatility like we were talking about yesterday. So, like I said, if these moving averages start to fan out, that would definitely, and if that 100 crosses at 200 to the downside, we will probably come down to 18,400. That is my bet right now, is that we do come down there. I'm definitely more bearish than bullish right now. I'd say the bears are in control about 70 to 30. 70% in the favor of the bears. So let's go to the stochastic and the order blocks. Okay, so we're probably going to find a little support on this bullish order block, which is a demand block. All right, basically at this last low, like we were just talking about. If we break this, so basically if we break 18,875, let's see if that lines up with anything. 18,875, basically your wick low. Basically your wick low right here. So yeah, that corresponds with that. Fall below this order block, that's going to increase the probability that you go down to 18,400. Right now, your stochastic did bounce off of the oversold region, but it looks like we crossed our signal line again to the downside. We're going to find out what happens next. Let's see here. We do have some bullish divergence if this is a confirmed low. All right, so if this RSI don't get into the extreme more than this low right here, we're going to have bullish divergence from this point to this point. Basically from this point to this point. Because we do have a higher low and a lower low on the stochastic. So we're going to find out, though, like I said, if we start breaking down, it's going to invalidate that bullish divergence. So we're definitely not out of the woods, and I do think there's a high probability that it does get invalidated and that we do break down. So, bullish case. We have to get above this last high at basically I'd say 19,330. I'd like to see us get back above this last high on a 1 hour closure. Definitely if we break out of the trend line at about 19,450, I would get bullish then. I would expect some minor resistance at the 19,660 level, probably then a retest and a resumption. That's if we break the trend line, which there's not a very big probability that that's going to happen. More than likely, we're going to break this 18,850 level, this 18,860 level, even 75. I mean, if we get below this, so basically 18,950, that's going to close below the last closure. I'm not really worried about these wicks, but that's where that demand block is as well. So 18,875. That's the level to beat, or that's the level to drop below. And then we're probably going down to 18.4. If we break 18.4, 18K is next stop. We break 18K, 16.5 is the next target. All right, so let's go to the 4-hour real quick. Bearish control zone on the RSI. We could have a slight drive of bullish divergence if we don't get below this last low right here. So if this is a confirmed low, we will have a slight hint of bullish divergence, which maybe could lead us back up to the 21 at 19,200. But we'll find out. You know, we got a fresh cross of the zero line of the MACD. Negative momentum's pretty stable right now. As your BBWP is turning around, remember this low read that we just had, and your moving average is going to end up curling around. Once it crosses that moving average, that volatility that we've been talking about is going to come. Been talking about this big move for the last week, all right, and it's coming. So stay nimble right now. So like I said, we went over the bullish and bearish case. Short update today. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, pretty similar story. Let's go ahead and get rid of this because you had a bull trap after you broke out of the descending triangle, but you did have the measured move. So that is over. Then you broke back up, had a little bit of a bull trap off the 100, got rejected, came back down. Right now you're in the bearish control zone of the RSI. MACD got rejected from the zero line, printing some dark red bars on the histogram. Negative momentum's picking up as your signal line gets crossed to the downside. BBWP, which is a volatility measurement, has a positive slope into the upper zone. Moving average has a positive slope. Here it comes. This is the volatility that we've been waiting for. So you're going to have some opportunity here. All right, let's go to the order block for Ethereum. Check out the stochastics. Let's see here. Could have a slight drive of bullish divergence if this is a confirmed low. Probably lead us back up to 1291 region, 1292. Stochastic trying to cross that signal line to the downside, but we're on the current tick right now. So if it crosses, probably going to break this bottom band. We start closing below that bottom band, we're going to work our way down somewhere in this bullish order block, probably around 1250. Maybe even 1220 is somewhere in there is what I'm looking at. I mean, we could come all the way down to 1220 and then get a bounce. I would expect a bounce down there, at least. All right, so bullish case for Ethereum is that you get back above this VPVR level in the 200 at 1300. There, that level comes up again. We've been talking about 1300 for like 2 weeks. That level is very important. It was important when we had support on it. It's going to be important when we have resistance. If we can get back above that level, I would expect us to come all the way up to 1332, possibly make a higher high. That's going to imply a lot, though. I mean, your momentum's got to switch around. Your momentum's bearish right now. A lot would have to happen. I mean, right now we're being held down by the POC point of control and the VPVR at 1284 is where it's coming in at. So a lot of resistance right overhead. I mean, basically, we've got rejected these last 3 candles from that level. So bearish case is that we break this last low at 1276 region. If that happens, 1220 is the next spot. We break 1220, $1,000 is my next target. All right. So that's about it for Ethereum. Let's move on to Solana. By the way, if you guys are liking this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description below. One being the Discord. It is the place to be. We stay ahead of the curve collectively. We talk all markets, crypto, trading, investing. It's definitely where you want to be at. I mean, we definitely stay ahead of the curve. We talk about these moves before they happen. Definitely join the Discord. So, here on Solana, similar story. I mean, we even have a, oh, hold on, Solana. Okay, similar story, except Solana looks even weaker. All your major moving averages are below each other. They are having a fan out. Have made a lower low. Let's see if we got bullish divergence here, though. If we make a local low, we will. We'll have bullish divergence if this is a local low, which will probably lead us back up to 28.85, where this 21 is. I would expect a rejection from there. We are deep in the bearish control zone right now, so that would probably lead us up to the signal line, is what I'd be thinking. Up to the 21 at 12.85, probably up to your signal line, get another rejection. MACD, fresh cross to the downside at deep below the zero line. Negative momentum's picking up on the histogram. And, I mean, if we break this last low, basically where we're at right now, I mean, we're going to have support here. We got this low and this low. It's going to be support. Possibly get a little bounce. Possibly up to the signal line, get a rejection. And if we break this last low, this is the extreme measurement I'd be looking at for the MACD. I'd be looking for us to come all the way down here. We've been talking about these damn levels for weeks. Honestly, that MACD crosses 20, or that MACD breaks that last low, $26 is in the cards. And definitely if we invalidate that bullish divergence on the RSI and get back below this last low and get into that oversold region, pretty extreme. Now look, you can go deep in the oversold region. So don't just buy and sell because you enter it. I mean, look at this. If you would have sold, or if you would have bought when you first entered the oversold region, you'd have bought right here. Look at that move. You don't just blindly buy when you're in the oversold and overbought regions. That's a rookie mistake. But I mean, yeah, learn over time. I'm just sharing my knowledge. Hopefully you guys take it. So, BBWP, above the moving average. Moving average has a positive slope, so the volatility is going to continue. We are at the last lows right now. We have made closures below the last closure. I think we go to $26, especially if Bitcoin breaks down here. I mean, Solana's down 2.5%. Bitcoin's only down 0.5%. Solana is very weak right now. You got your multi-crossover. You were in the bearish control zone. Your MACD had a negative slope below its signal line. As your BBWP started to pick up, it started to pick up right here. I did make a trade. It has all my signals lined up. I did make a trade. Obviously, as you see, did pretty well. I do not really share my trades, but I have shared my signals. I have shared one of my strategies. So, I mean, you guys pick it up. Definitely use it if you want. So, let's go to here. So, we're finding some support on 28.18, basically at the bottom of this demand block. Stochastic is in the oversold extreme zone, but we're crossing our signal line again. So if we break this last low at the 12.27 level, we'll probably come down to the 0.62 where these last extreme lows are, which would lead us down to $26. We could stay in that zone for quite a while in those extreme zones. So once again, all right, so bullish case for Solana is that you break the POC all the way up here at 29.90. Basically where your 100 is going to be by the time you would get up there. And that's it. I mean, you got to break that POC and get out of this bearish control zone and even think about getting bullish again. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think we break down. I do think we go to $26 within the week. Especially if Bitcoin breaks down. Bitcoin goes to 18K, I think $26 is going to happen pretty quick. Once again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Show some support in a bear market. It's very hard to build a channel in a bear market. If you guys like this content, I mean, turn on this bell notifications. Get notified every single day when I put out these videos. Stay ahead of the curve. Join the damn Discord. It's the place to be. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening. And I'll see you tomorrow.